I don't even have the words, guys. My voice is hoarse. Oh my gosh. What a night. Woo! What a game. Tennessee walks it off, baby. Woo! 12-11. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even have time to take a breath right now. It's what a night. What a game. This team, man. I said earlier today, I watched North Carolina walk Virginia off, and I was like, man, this North Carolina team concerns me because they keep being a team of destiny walking teams off. But my gosh, if you didn't just watch this Tennessee team tonight and say maybe this is their time, I don't know what to tell you. They resilience on a night that was, good God, it was awful. There was so much stuff that went wrong tonight for Tennessee. And yet, here we are. Here I am, Horse. Here's probably numerous people in this chat, Horse, tonight. And this team comes through. This team comes through. There's a lot to get into. It may take me a second here. A lot of you, pretty awesome. A lot of you are already in the chat going on here, discussing the game going on. And then we get to this point. Goodness gracious, man. Goodness gracious. What a night. 12-11, Tennessee. Nate Snead gets the win, by God, and he deserves it. He come in. He did his thing tonight. I don't even know. I know where to start. I don't know where to finish at on this, so I'm not going to lie with it. We're already up to 85 on this, so let's roll this thing. Let's just take a deep breath. There's no cool hand. I don't know if there's outlaw. There's excited man tonight. Whatever the hell you want to call that. It's one of the things I would like a few years ago we were doing gosh, I'm having a hard time talking right now. We were doing baseball on Talking Balls when I was on there. Drew Gilbert. It just didn't work out tonight for Drew Gilbert to walk off. And it was like I did a post-game video and I lost my voice on it. And this one's similar tonight as well as just, I don't know. I kept believing, kept saying this team's not done. This team's not done. And, they got it down to it. My main thing was I was hoping to end. They got it to the top of the order. You get it to the top of the order, you have a chance. And Christian Moore, man. Let's keep pissing Christian Moore off. Let's keep disrespecting Christian Moore this year. If you're national pundits, if you're analysts, if you're writers, if you're all these people who are voting on this, let's keep pissing Christian Moore off. All right? You're doing Tennessee a favor. You're absolutely doing Tennessee a favor by continuing to disrespect this guy. Second team All-American. Give me a break. He wasn't the SEC Player of the Year. I have no problem with Charlie Condon being the Player of the Year in the country. The fact that Christian Moore won the conference Triple Crown and is not the Player of the Year on the top team in the top conference in the freaking country is a joke. And yet, what was it? Came out this week. He was not the first team All-American, second base. Give me a freaking break. There may be a little bit tonight of trying to not. I'm going to have to, with my being excited, I'm going to have to keep a little bit of composure with the language. So please bear with me in case something drops tonight. We're already at a record watching this of 119. Thank you, guys. This is the place for Tennessee baseball. We're going to analyze it shortly as soon as I can calm down just a little bit. But this I mean, Sunday night when Tennessee plays North Carolina, it's going to be two teams that know how to walk teams off. I don't know how they're going with that as far as home team and stuff goes. I'm going to try to get this shared out here on Twitter right now. So, like I said, just a little bit amped up. Try to get a few more in here. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I'm sure plenty of you are going nuts, and I'm sure plenty of us. It would have probably been easy to throw the towel in, but I know Tony Vitello never gave up. He was fired up in the ninth inning. It's just man. Sorry for the break. Trying to get a little bit. All right. Here we go. Let's get fully into this. Man. Here we go. Let's share out one more time. All right, let's rock and roll. Let's get you guys going. I'm gonna hit the comment 142. Heck yeah, let's roll, man. Papa J, what's up, man? Man, we go with our defense this weekend. Woo! That defense. I'm going to hit these super chats first, guys, and then I'll get into it. Lots of you in here. Thank you. Papa J says, game one, a dub. Let's go, Will Murley. I think Blake, I think Burkett, but we finally got a call. It was close. It was very, very close on that one, for sure. Out of the Woods says, let's light up the super chats for Rock. Let's go, man. Thank you. Will Murley says, Condon's at home while Moore setting records. Blueberry J24 says, dude, what a effing game. Love the channel, by the way. Bob Franklin, the Outlaws hype man, says, Dorothy, buy the Outlaw Rounder FSU fans some cheese. And Out of the Woods says, for $10, says, keep it going. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys, for your generosity tonight. I really appreciate it. It's always appreciated. It helps support the channel. It helps everything goes back into the channel. It helps to try to supply better coverage just along the way. If that makes sense or not, it does. I'm not going into detail on any of that or nothing. I promise you it's not just money going out buying a 12-pack or nothing like that. If you want me to go out and buy a 12-pack on your super chat, just put it in there and I'll happily do it. But yeah, let's go into the chat. We'll go through the comments here and we'll get into it, and we'll analyze the game and break it down. But man, we're at 170. This rules. This absolutely rules. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. But yeah, man, Papa J's on this. Tennessee comes out in the first play of the game. First freaking play of the game. Just kind of an in-betweener, but Blake Burke drifts away. Stamos did what he had to do to get over. I thought the play was close. I've got a couple beefs in the first inning here with calls. I think both sides have beefs with calls tonight. I'm not going to lie about it. I thought that was close enough to review. They didn't review it. They let it go. And then, let's see, we get, what was it, first and third with an out? Stamos got pulled. I thought it was odd where the camera went to Stamos, and, man, he was belting them. He was belting the F-bombs. And I was like, what's going on here? And it took me a second, and I realized he was getting pulled. I don't blame him. He did not make a bad pitch. He did not make a bad pitch in, what he threw, 8 pitches or something. He did not make a bad pitch tonight, and he got pulled on it. His defense let him down. And the pit, it ended up not mattering. But when Causey threw the pitch they called a wild pitch, I don't know how many of you noticed this. They put it on slow motion. You saw the dude for Florida State's pants move. It hit his pants. That should have been a dead ball. Runner should not have scored on that one. But it would not have mattered because Causey walked the next guy. I don't know if that would have changed things or not, but the fact of the matter is it did indeed graze the dude's pants. You saw him move on it. I don't know why that was not reviewed. I don't know if anybody didn't have the view for it. I can't blame the catcher because the catcher's trying to catch that wild ass pitch on it. But I don't know if there's somebody watching or what. But to me, holy crap, we just hit 200 tonight. That rules. That's awesome on here. But yeah, our defense, we're going to go along a little bit at a time here on this one. But, make no mistake about it. Florida State made mistakes as well that gave Tennessee some opportunity. But I felt when it come down to it, Tennessee gave Florida State a bit more than Florida State gave them. Maybe it evened out in the end. I don't know. But here's what I know is that a resilient bunch of guys in Knoxville, Tennessee, who are occasionally mislabeled. I don't know. I don't know if I've heard much about disrespecting the game this year. They damn sure respected it tonight, and they come back and made it happen. And this is one of those games that's tough for either team to have to lose on it. But both teams made enough mistakes that somebody had to lose it, and somebody deservedly had to lose it. Unfortunately for Florida State, it was them. If Tennessee would have lost that game, they would have deserved to lose it based on their mistakes tonight. But, they got it back where they want to. I've said it numerous times. I've been worried about Tennessee's defense, and I'm going to have a big hole I'm going to question on here. It's not Blake Burke. Blake Burke had a rough night in the field. But you know what? Blake Burke, I felt was making effort on his plays, and it didn't happen. I have one big hole, and there's a reason I've said this guy will not be in this place next year. Who will be back? I think you guys probably know where I'm going on this one. But our defense has to be better moving forward to win. But here's the thing of it. Tennessee was 1-5 coming in. I said earlier down my video they had only won the first round game in 1951. I was wrong. Again, I've been off of it. I've been off my game this week. They actually won in 95. They beat Clemson the first round. 51, they lost the first game, but they come back and was the runner-up in that tournament. So now Tennessee's 2-5 in first-round games in Omaha. And I thought it was big for this team. Thought it was big for this team to get off the snide to get that win. So here we go. We get that out, and our pitcher's still in this game, guaranteed. This is probably around Stamos. And, yeah, if I'm Stamos tonight, I'd have been pissed. I would have been pissed. 224 people in here. Make sure you like, you share this thing out, you subscribe to the channel. This is this is your first time tuning in, this is your place for Tennessee baseball. I'm just telling you right now, it's been consistent throughout the year. Baseball started not long after this channel launched. Baseball's going to be here long after all these who are just deciding to cover it since it's cool right now. Baseball's going to be here. If this team goes 0 for the year next year, baseball's going to be here. So, I'm going to toot the old horn here just a bit. This has been the most consistent channel with it, who is not a subscriber channel, so to speak. But, yeah, absolutely, Papa J. You're dead on. You get that out. Stamos is in that game in the second inning. I thought Stamos did his job. He didn't get the luck that he needed tonight. Going off these comments, getting mistakes, been this team's nemesis this year. They made plenty of them. And then, yeah, you're right here. This is all in the first inning. The fact that they got out of that first inning with only one run, I thought was really good for them. Some of these are going to be pretty funny to get to. I mean, they pretty much go with what I was saying here. Why do I expect anything less? Have all the minimum scored 2 runs that were gifted to us and just gave this game away, maybe our season. I mean, that game got to, I thought it was a case of there was so much went wrong tonight for this team. So much went wrong, and the fact that they were still able to come out on top. You got to like Tennessee's chances in the long haul on this one. They had to use a lot of pitchers. They pretty much had to use their main pitchers tonight. Now, looking at who threw what for them, Stamos is good. He threw 8 pitches. He's pretty much good at any point. Causey only threw 45. I think that's big. I think it's potentially big because he had a rough night. 1 2/3, 5 runs, 5 earned, 2 walks, 3 Ks. A little bit of a rough. I don't think Tennessee got charged with the errors they should have been charged with tonight. They were charged with, I think, 3. I think it should have been more. Kirby, Cannell, and Anning gave up a run, had 2 Ks, 17 pitches. He's good. Aaron Combs is the one I'm worried about we've lost for a couple of games. And Aaron Combs, 3 1/3, 4 runs, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks. Those walks got him in trouble. He did give up the 1 home run. He gave up on that. You had Banky win 1/3, 7 pitches. Nate Snead got to win tonight, 2 1/3, 1 hit, no earned runs, no runs at all, 2 walks, 2 Ks. Nate Snead kind of come in and put the fire out at the end and held this thing so Tennessee could have that miraculous comeback. So, the fact that they went through 6 pitchers tonight, I think there's a part of us should not be surprised because of how good Florida State's offense is. But at the same time, you would have liked to have been less than that as well. So, while I think Aaron Combs is probably not good for Sunday. He could be. Who knows on that. But I think that gets you Causey back. We'll see, man. I know the normal, I'm thinking from high school perspective, and I know this is not high school. I'm just kind of thinking along those lines of how pitchers are managed. Around 45, 39 pitches may have these guys ready to go on Sunday. Combs, I think Tuesday is probably the earliest on him based on 60 pitches, but I could see Stamos is good. Stamos is good to come back. He's good to come back Sunday. They could theoretically start him again. It's going to be Drew Beam on Sunday, no doubt about that. But Causey, I think, could be good. I would not be surprised if they don't save him for later in the week. Cannell's good for Sunday. Banky good for Sunday. Snead, I could see them saving him for the Xander Sechrist start. But, if you save all these guys too, who's available? It's going to be the question right there because we've seen Drew Beam here recently and what Drew Beam's had, and it's not been his best stuff. So, that's going to be a big one to look at. Let's see, we've got Ryan here. What's up, Ryan? Appreciate your generosity. Let's go all the way, baby. $20. Heck yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you guys, all of you. All you guys with your super chats tonight. Thank you so much for your generosity. It's greatly appreciated. Let's get back into some comments here and try to break a little bit along the way. I'll try to get into some stuff I had planned, but man, I'll be honest, my plans kind of got changed a little bit because I wouldn't say I had totally thrown the towel in, but I had it in my hand. Let's put it that way. Let's put it that way. Let's see where else we go here. A lot along the way. Tim Bradley, what's up, man? Being down like this makes me think everyone's going to try to swing for the fences, trying to catch up and just get struck out. Pretty interesting point here. And looking at Tennessee's batters tonight, 8 Ks. I don't think that's that bad, honestly, tonight. You're facing they talked about Jamie Arnold being according to Collie McDaniel, ESPN, it's their draft guy. He said next year Arnold's a top 5 guy. This year, he said if he was draft eligible this year, he would be a top 20 guy. I wasn't that impressed with him, to be honest with you. But again, it's, he didn't get the help he wanted. So Arnold was 5 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs, 4 earned. He had 4 walks, 4 Ks. Gave up the home run to Tears, 98 pitches. I don't know, man. And I hate to say it to take away from Tennessee. I just think Tennessee plays lefties well. I think that's Tennessee's game this year, where in years past it hasn't been. I feel like lefties are their thing this year. That's when I didn't know much about Oxford. I just assumed he was a righty, to be honest with you, because I did not look at what he threw. But when I saw him coming in lefty, I'm like, this plays good for us. And again, what I like is versus lefty, lefty, righty, righty. Tennessee's left-handers hit left-handed pitching pretty well. Much better than the right on right, I really think. And so, I mean, I thought they stayed composed tonight. I really did. And the fact that they faced some good pitchers, some really good pitchers tonight, come out of that with 8 strikeouts. Left on base tonight, they had 9. I mean, a little bit high for my liking, but still yet. Amick left 4, Inslee 2, Tiers 1, Bargo 1, Stark 1. And Amick, with him, I thought on the times he left guys on base, he hit some pretty good shots. He just hit it right at him. I thought he made solid contact with it. Sure glad someone won FSU. Sure shit wasn't our team. I'm curious to see these as we go through them. Yeah, it was our team. What a Jekyll and Hyde night. What a Jekyll and Hyde night. I don't know any other way to put it. It looked good. Tennessee goes up 4-1. It's like they got out of it. Causey turned a double play, kept it 4-1. They come back in. Here's one I'm going to question. Here's one I'm going to question on this. What in the hell's Curley doing at shortstop? Can anybody explain that one to me? And I'm going down the line. I'll try to get these comments and hope I'll get to them in due time. What in the hell's he doing at shortstop? Because Florida State led that inning off where they got, 6 runs? Their leadoff guy got on base, and then the next guy hits it. I'm like, that's an easy double play. And it goes into the outfield. Does he not have any range? Or what's going on here? And I like Curley. I like him as a player. I don't think the guy has range. I'm not trying to crap on him or nothing. I'm really not. I'm just trying to call it like I'm seeing it. There's a lot of balls I'm seeing hit to shortstop, and I'm not understanding how they're not fielded. And I thought that ball up the middle, and again, maybe they're further middle than I think, but I just felt that should have been an easy double play. And then, of course, we go on, and feels like we're out of the inning. And then Burke, I don't know who has taught Burke to stretch at first base. I don't like it, though. He's getting down on a knee and stuff. That's just him to be an agile guy like he is. I would think he should be able to stretch more than he can. He plays an excellent first base. Don't get me wrong on it, but this was not his night at first base. Made some good plays. He did make some good plays, but I don't know, man. Some of the defense puzzled me tonight. I got to go through these. Just once in my life, I'd love to root for a Tennessee team with some balls. Pitching's terrible. The pitching was a little rough tonight. Curious to see how you guys. Well, we've had a few poor pitching games in the game back and forth. Following game. Hope it's so going forward. I'll be honest. I don't fault Stamos. I thought he did his job tonight. I really did. I thought he was good. I thought his defense laid him down. If they filled that ball to start the game, it's a totally different outing for him. This is a good question here. Tony was livid on it. How was this a balk? It was close. I thought it was close, but I thought he stopped. I mean, if that was a balk, there's lots of balks going on around college baseball, even in the pros, because guys come to that quick stop and then they go with it. But Papa J says, hurry up and win it, Vols, so this old man can go to bed. Take back everything I said. Come on, Dylan. Here we go. Here we go. Yes, walked it off. We got balls. Unbelievable. Out of the woods. What a damn game. This is awesome. It might just be meant to be, boys. That surpasses the walk-off grand slam by Gilbert. I think it does, too. I really think it does. And I think the Gilbert moment may have been a bit more dramatic, but based on the stage, based on what it was, Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was there. We got old Boomhauer in here tonight. What's up, Boomhauer? Says unreal. Laura Hubbard, thank you for correcting me earlier today, actually, on the College World Series history, because I was thinking it was 51 they'd won. You said, I swear I thought the Helton team beat Clemson. I went back and double checked. You were exactly right on that. Thank you. Thank you for correcting a guy who's not been on his game this week, who's got to be better, who has a lot more time, who has 7 weeks of freedom coming up now. The teacher life, finally past summer school, past all that. So lots of good stuff coming up on here. I'm going to just go through, hit these super chats again. Game 1 a dub. Let's go. Thank you, Papa J, for your 20. Ronnie Freeman, what's up, man? Team of Destiny, go Vols, go Big Orange. Kyle Beaches, all can say is wow. How about them BaseVols? Goodness. Logan Hollandshed, what's up, man? Good to have you in here to rally back after digging a hole with the fielding mishaps. This team especially have the what the French call a certain, I don't know what. Yeah. Crazy. JL refused to lose. Out of the woods, go Big Orange. John Baxter. This team is about to go on a rampage through this tournament. I'm really hoping, man, that's a good point, that they got through this. Let's call it what it was. It was a shit show earlier on tonight. They got through that, got the win. Let's hope that was their game needed to get, and now it's time to rock and roll. North Carolina, let's make no mistake about it. I think North Carolina may be possibly the second best team in this field. North Carolina's good. Tennessee, I'm going to preview them tomorrow. I'm not even getting much into them tonight. I don't even care tonight. We're going to celebrate tonight's victory. I do know this. If the game is on the line and Vance Honeycutt comes up, Tennessee better not pitch to him. Because I don't know how the home team thing's going to roll, since both teams were home teams today. I don't know if there's going to be some ridiculous concept where Tennessee's the visitor. You would think Tennessee's the home team on Sunday, but who knows with this crap? Who knows? Devin Arnold said, let's go. Emotional roller coaster. My goodness, no kidding. Cayman Mickler says, let's go Vols. What a game. JL 1956. That's crazy. 1951 was when Tennessee, that was their first College World Series appearance. They finished second. They did not win the opener, though. They did not make another appearance until 1995, in which they did beat Clemson in the first game. That's when Todd Helton was there. And then, it's pretty wild to think this is their 6th appearance, and 3 of them have been under Tony Vitello. What a game, man. Me and my wife both had cold chills during the 9th inning. I was, yeah, I get it. I totally get it. My wife was about ready to go to bed, and needless to say, I got her out of the bed. She wasn't asleep, but what a game. I just hit that one. Burke made up for his early errors. He absolutely did. He did. The realest part, Burke gave Florida State 4 runs tonight. He gave them 4 runs. But you know what? He made up for it. He got the one back in the first inning with a little blooper. It hit. And then, man, that was a close one. That was a close swing in the 9th. But then that dude kind of left one over the plate, and he went with it, went up the middle, tied the ball game. Amick base hit. Dylan Dreiling ends it. Yeah, Berg, he made up for it. He absolutely made up for it. Out of the Woods says, go Big Orange. Eric B. Jones, what's up, man? Says, heck yeah, Tennessee pulled it out. Had me worried for a few minutes, won't lie, but our BaseVols come back and won, heck yeah. Well, if they only had you worried for a few minutes, Eric, you had me beat, because they had me worried for over an hour easily. But all in fun, all jokes. It's all, we can joke a little with the game over. But yeah, I'm with you. They I thought in the 9th inning, let's see, they got the run in. Tears got on. Curly had a good at bat, man. He hit a good ball. Like Burke said Chris Burke on the announcer, if that's Lindsey Nelson, it's gone. Obviously, it's not, but he got the run in. Cannon Peebles, once again, comes in, pinch hits, gets a walk, does his job. I don't know who else you would have hit in that situation, but Cal Stark is not the guy late. He is not. He is not clutch in a late inning situation. He just is. It's a strikeout almost every time. Um, I like Cal Stark. I like what he brings. He does infuriate me sometimes at the plate. But I mean, Tony Vitello said it last weekend. He was talking about Bargo, and he's like, I maybe should have hit him the day before, but he said Cal Stark's my guy, and Cal Stark's going to hit. You hope Cal Stark comes through in that situation. He looked bad again, though. Looked bad. I don't know who you hit in that situation, though, is the thing of it. Do you put Villaneva up there? Do you put Brad Keylori? That's really your only possibilities, and I don't know if they're any more likely to come up and do any better than Stark. So, I think it is what it is, and you go with Stark on that one. James Vaughn says, wow. Boomhauer says, check, swing. Ronnie Freeman, we're all fired up now. Moon Drops Beauty says, let's go, baby. Who's going to beat this team? They are legendary. I'm with you in saying that with that, big time. They just don't give a damn what the other team does clutch. Exactly. And that was the fact that they battled through the adversity, battled through not being perfect, battled through playing so poorly in the field earlier on, and their pitching really not being that great tonight. Nate Snead come in and held this game to where it was tonight. I know last Saturday against Evansville, when he come in, it was a similar situation to hold it where it was, and he didn't. He's been better. He's done that more often than not in terms of holding them. He come in, did his job tonight, and hats off to him. A well-deserved win for him based on what he did. This team was clutch tonight. The biggest thing I was hoping for in that ninth inning was just get it to the top of the order. Christian Moore, let's get into Christian Moore. This dude, I think, until proven otherwise in terms of what he did at UT, only the second SEC Hall of Famer, Todd Helton's going to go down as the GOAT of Tennessee baseball. Christian Moore, man, has got a place at the GOAT table. Christian Moore has a place, all-time home runs leader in school history. He's going to be a first-round pick. What's he do when he eventually makes it to the majors and stuff? This dude's clutch. He wanted it. He was feeling it tonight. Hits for the second cycle in College World Series history tonight. Christian Moore goes 5 for 6, 4 runs scored, only 1 RBI, 2 doubles, a triple, a home run. He did have the 1 error, but he had 4 assists, had 4 good plays in the field. This guy's a Tennessee legend. He is a Tennessee legend. He had some beef with the home plate umpire tonight. I don't know, again, our views on it and stuff where we're seeing it. I thought the pitches he was complaining about looked pretty good, honestly. But, again, I don't know. I don't know what a freaking strike is anymore, apparently, because there was a lot of strikes both ways, balls that they just weren't. They looked odd to me. But clutch team, Christian Moore, Blake Burke, all these guys, they all stepped up tonight. Out of the Woods, $4.99. Appreciate that. Let's like super chats. Seminole means long faces. I think it definitely did tonight. Timothy says, oh, wow. JL says we might just have to out-hit everyone. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. But, let's face it, though. At what point, this Friday night opener with Stamos DeCausey, it's worked very well. We had to think at some point it was going to be a night like this. And I've been afraid that at the worst time it would happen. But I can't blame Stamos. Again, I don't think he did anything wrong tonight. His defense let him down. Causey didn't have it. This was Causey's worst outing since Auburn. Cannell, I mean, I think Cannell is what he is. I really wasn't crazy about seeing him come in that situation that he did. I'm not as big of I love Kirby Cannell. Don't get me wrong, I love him. I'm just not as confident in him as these coaches are, and I don't see him every day and stuff either. But Combs got hit a little more than normal tonight, giving up 4 runs and 3 1/3. But they had to go to him early. I was hoping it would work out where they would not have to go to him to like the 7th inning. They'd go to him the 4th inning tonight. And, is what it is. Banky, the 1/3, nah. But Snead come in and put the fire out. Snead's kind of my guy. I've been on him since the beginning. The guy I was real excited about, and it fires me up. I like his stuff. I like what he brings. It surprises me. He doesn't strike out guys more than he does with the stuff he has. It just something doesn't translate. But man, TK says team is never out of the game. Wow. You got to win the first one. Well, I guess they did. Now we'll win the next one. Cayman says, I'm so pumped now. Will Murley back down with Condon's at home while Moore setting records. Man, Condon had some opportunity of that. I was watching, was it 4-2, come up the bases loaded and struck out. He had a bad super regional, like 1 for 11. Give me Christian Moore all day. And a great spot pitching going forward. Need to quit the defensive errors. We got Beam going Sunday. Beam. This is going to be a point in the year we need the Drew Beam that we know and love to show up. Not the guy we've seen the last couple of weeks. We need the Drew Beam that can get 6 or 7. Based on pitch count tonight, I mean, I don't know where they go on Sunday. I think this pretty much leaves everybody available at some point moving forward. Sunday, I'm not sure how they go that, though. I mean, it'd be fantastic if Beam threw like a complete game or something, but he never has done that. Not realistic to expect it then, but, they pretty much emptied the chamber tonight, breaking out everybody. So, I'm curious to see how it's managed Sunday, especially if Beam is not on his game. I hope Will's got those highlights out pretty fast. Duck, yeah, Martha Fargers. Timothy says, woo. Laura Hubbard, notice my vocal cords are wrecked. All vol. TK, nothing better than a live show. Old Dave Shields, a living legend himself. Tune in specifically, see if you could control yourself after that one. Yeah, it was a little hard. No doubt. G-Man, what a great game. Vols win. Steve, Jesse, great to be a Tennessee Volunteer. Raise a ruckus. Blueberry J24. Dude, what an effing game. Love the channel, by the way. Appreciate that. Yeah, the umps were interesting tonight, man. They were interesting. I don't know, man. The Outlaws hype man Bob Franklin says, Thor fee by the Outlaw Rounder, FSU fans some cheese. G White, okay, we redeemed ourselves for all defensive mistakes. John Majors, Christian Moore's the effing man. Hitting for the cycle also. Tony picked up the bat and kissed it. That was priceless. Best coach in the game. Jeff Puckett says, wow, what a rally. Go Vols out of the woods. Thank you again. Keep it going for $10. Steve Jesse, huge win, baby. Bo Procco says, let's go. KI Gas 24, SEMO hitting second cycle in history, not winning would have been shameful. And, the interesting thing when he was coming up, I was like, man, what a cruel night it would be if he made the last out right here. But nope, he extended the game. Got it. And hats off to Josh Elander, because I think in a normal situation, that would have been an easy time to try to send Peebles. He made the right call because, that run if it would have been a tie ball game, I probably would not have had a problem with him sending it. But with you needing those runs, Josh Elander absolutely made the right call. I thought he made the right call earlier in the game when he sent Cal Stark, and it worked out. Even though Cal should have been gunned down by a mile, it worked out. I still thought it was the right call. I think you have to make that. Whew, the amp up has kind of come down a little bit, getting a little tired here, but I thought it was the right call. I thought you had to send Cal Stark earlier in the game on that one, but my initial reaction was when Moore hit that one in the ninth inning. It's like, do not send Peebles, and it was the right call. You could. It's not worth the risk. I mean, if it's obvious, sure, you send him. And one it's going to be anywhere remotely close and probably would have been out by a good bit, it was the right call on it. Let's see. What about SEMO getting a cycle? Fireballs fired up. I'll put this one up. Cannot agree with that one more. John Majors with the toast on here. Blueberry, big crowd in here tonight. Yeah, we're over 200, man. This rules. This absolutely rules. Great game, Gregory Preston. John Baxter channel is exploding. This, man, I'm telling you guys, with all sincerity, this thing's not scratched the surface yet. Put a lot into it. There's been a lot of recording. I hit, as far as not including live shows, but just as far as like videos, I hit 200 this week. I think I'm at, next one will be like 202. But I've hardly covered football. I had a commitment this week. I've been trying to manage. I'm not giving excuses or none of that. It's just trying to cover 4 sports. I don't know. I'm giving excuses again. Everybody has a job and stuff. I know that. Trying to do it. There's just not enough time in the day sometimes. Let's put it that way. So for the next 7 weeks, there's plenty of time though. So I'm hoping you're going to see a channel amped up. There's a lot that I've been looking at to try to kind of improve where the channel is, where it's going. It's good right now. I think it's good. I'm very happy with it, but I think there's a whole other level to it that we'll get to in due time. But yeah, it is exploding. I love it. Thank you guys. It's not possible without all your support. There's just no way on that. Fireball says Vitello fault. It was that close. They're up that one pitcher. I don't think he had his best night managing. I really don't. But, you know, I think they're trying to put out a fire, and they're trying to do, you know, no pun intended, Fireball. I think they're trying to put out a fire that they had early, and I think they were just doing what they could to put it out. So, you know, I can sit here and say I don't know that it was the best managed game as far as how the pitching was managed, but at the same time, they're trying to do what they can to hold that team in check. And, you know, Tennessee was charged with, there's no freaking way. They were charged with 11 earned runs tonight. There is no freaking way that was 11 earned runs. I don't care what the scorebook says. I don't care any of that. You cannot sit here and tell me that was 11 earned runs tonight. Maybe half of that was earned. Maybe half of it was earned. There's no way that all 11 runs that Florida State scored was earned. There's just, it's funny to me back when I used to play and stuff. You boot a ball, you make a bad throw, it's an error. Now it's like we give benefit of the doubt on stuff too often. Pretty rough for the pitchers for Tennessee because Stamos got charged with an earned run. I guess by the book, based on how it happened, it was, but I don't know, man. That was, you can't sit here and tell me that was a legit 11 earned runs that they scored tonight. You just can't. Tom Odell says, go Vols, never give up. Steve Jesse, Blake Burke, Hall of Fame gangster lean, baby. Chris Dillard, what's up, man? Go Vols, baby. Steve Jesse says, Rock JL, we got to play cleaner. We gave them 4 at least. I think at least 4 tonight. Top 5 games all time. Man, this one I have a hard time not putting it one. I know the Drew Gilbert game for me was probably one. Um, I could look back at College World Series games or nothing, but honestly, Tennessee and the times I've watched from '95 and on, there's there's never really been that threat of where I thought they were that close to winning it just based off of they had won in '95 the first game, which I was wrong on what I said today. They actually won the first game of '95 against Clemson. But that was, I'm pretty sure, when they run in that Cal State Fullerton had Mark Kotze, and they were a buzzsaw. Pretty sure that's when R.A. Dickey was still there, and that Cal State Fullerton. There's been numerous times Tennessee has played the national championship team to start off. That's why I always say, if you're going to win this tournament, you got to play the best anyway. I see a lot of people always get freaked out every time Tennessee's playing a good team in the tournament. If you're going to win it, you're going to have to play the best anyway. It doesn't bother. I know people are freaked out about facing Wake Forest potentially, and it blew my mind. It's like, bring them on. I wanted to beat Chase Burns. I wanted to play that Wake Forest team and beat them. I wanted, yes, Savage. I want the best. I mean, I was fired up tonight to see Tennessee face Jamie Arnold. We hear always him being one of the best pitchers in the nation. If you're going to win it, man, you got to do it against the best. Might as well go against the best. And I say it not taking anything from Tennessee's head. I was not that impressed with Arnold. I just really wasn't. He's got a good fastball. He's got a pretty good slider, but that's all he's got. I mean, his changeup was not devastating. And again, right now, if I'm Tennessee, I want to see a lefty. I want to see lefties. They're hitting lefties extremely well. It's the righties who have a little bit of junk that are more of their kryptonite right now. Boosted says still yelling. LFG. Tim Dewberry said, what a game. Team doesn't quit. Absolutely one of the best comebacks. Man, it may be the best. Amaz Shad says the best game Tennessee history. I would put it up there. Absolutely. Go Vols. TK, everybody hit that like button. Like Simo hit the ball tonight. Simo was the man tonight, no doubt. G-Man, I think they were a little nervous to start. JL Gritty Vols Lower Hubbard said Stamos still has a fresh arm. Yeah, he's good to go. He's good to go at any point. He only threw 8 pitches tonight. And, man, he was fired up when he got pulled. I can't blame him. But you know what? I'm going to give him credit. And that's what Tony Vitello's talked about this team. Stamos was pissed. He was royally pissed. But you know what? He went and hugged A.J. Causey and handed him that ball. And then, I don't know how many of you guys noticed it. They shined it over. He's the guy that's up the highest on that rail on the dugout, cheering, beating on it. And their hats off to him, man, because I know it's not an easy situation. And yet he was still up on that rail, still rooting his ass off tonight. And that's what Tony Vitello says. There's guys that'll get mad when they're pulled or not in, but then it's like they wipe it clean and then they're a good teammate. That's what is the difference in this team right now. And that's not an easy thing to do. And I've seen it said before, there's coaches that they've told players, said, going into a next year, if you were not ticked or pissed that you didn't play this year, then I don't know what to tell you. You should absolutely be unhappy when you're not playing. But you know what? It's one of those things too. You make it even worse if you sit over and pout. I've seen it numerous times. I've probably done it before, times I've sat. It's one of the hardest things there is to do, especially, these college guys are used to playing. And then all of a sudden you're relegated to not playing. How do you handle it? And that's a real testament to this team, how they're able to wipe it clean, support their guys. So much credit to them for that. Ryan Davis, what's up, man? $5. That made my day at work better. Thanks, BaseVols, Dylan Dry, and Simo co-MVPs. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. Just Just crazy. Just crazy tonight. TK shared. Steve Jesse said, I love the fade pose by Christian Moore. Ahmad's a shot. I was extremely upset. But oh my gosh, it's great to be Tennessee Vols. It's great to be Tennessee Vol. I mean, hard not to be upset. Hard not to, the way that thing was going. It was just like, how many times Tennessee we've seen we get to this point big time, and then it's like, here we go. And, not just a loss, but just an epic meltdown. I mean, I think of 2 years ago, I was living in Columbia, South Carolina, and we go up to that game, feeling pretty confident about it. Dave Shields, who commented earlier, can verify. He was with me, stayed the weekend with me. But me, him, Mrs. Frank, we all went. Felt pretty good, went relaxed in, and what a clown show that was that night. Just an epic meltdown. And had to hear it all the way out. What an awful experience. And it's just like you're set up for it. And people make jokes about, well, there's too much BVS. Too many people have experienced it over the years is the problem. I mean, if you go back so many years, how many times have we seen just these performances like for 8/9 of an inning tonight, for 89% of the game tonight, and all of a sudden they turn it on with it. Heck of a ball game. Two Titans hitting on each other. Let's go find a way to win. Let's get this natty. I'm just curious to see how this team plays now that they got this one out. That they got that win in dramatic fashion on a game where I think you could make a case that I don't know that either team really deserved the win, and they both deserved losses tonight, I really think. But it come down to who made plays in the end. I think there's guys for each team who deserve to win, but it was a kind of an ugly game earlier on. I laughed. They interviewed Link Jarrett in the dugout, and he was talking about how awesome their comeback and stuff was. It's like, man, you got help. But I mean, what's he supposed to say at the same time? But I want to look at some. So let me get in some bullet points. I'll get back to it. One of them I like to do is good, the bad, and the ugly. The good. The great's the comeback. Nate Snead, 2 1/3, no runs. He kept this. Tennessee could make that comeback. Christian Moore, phenomenal night. Dylan Dowling, great night for him, hitting. That top 4 in the lineup, really your top 6. Inslee, 1 for 5, 2 strikeouts, hit into a double play. Did have a 1 base hit, not his best night. And I was just making a case for him today on VolQuest about getting drafted, and some of them were saying, and I know it's out there. I'm kind of the outlier saying that I think he gets drafted. A lot of people are saying he won't, and he'll be back, and I may be wrong on it. I very well may be, and that's fine if I am. I'll take him back next year, even though he can aggravate me, but still yet not his best night. Tears had the home run tonight, and then he had that base hit in the 9th that started things off. Curley, 1 for 3. My biggest thing with Curley, man, I just don't think he's a shortstop at this point. I really don't. I don't think he has the range. There's too many balls that are getting through that I'm not understanding how they're getting through on it. And I don't think that's coincidence, because even guys, buddies of mine texting with, we're all saying the same thing. And I don't know. It's really kind of tough to come up with on that. Out of the woods, I will get to your super here in just a minute. Let me get down to that. Kind of cover this. It's a good question, though. Let me see where I'm at here. I'm still at where are we at here? Let me see. Oh, here we go. Let's go find a way. Found a way to win. Let's get this natty. Ahmad said Simo boosted. Could be a wake-up call again. Yeah, hopefully so. I they got the wake-up call last weekend, but maybe not. That 2-out win, man, the fact that they got back to the top of the order, 11-9, Christian Moore got the hit, got the double, which was huge. Put those guys in scoring position. And then Burke. What a bat, man. That check swing was so close. It was so close. Maybe it's the homer, Emmy. I didn't think he went, but it was close enough to where it almost could have been called. But that guy was kind of flirting with disaster with him a little bit, and then he hung one, put one out over the plate. Moore made it hurt. Or I'm sorry, Burke made it. At that point, I mean, Amick with the base hit, and then Dreiling ends it with his shot as well. And they talked about bringing that lefty in. And when I saw it was a lefty, I liked it. Dreiling hits lefties pretty well, and they said it on there. His average and stuff against lefties is about as good as righties. And they said that guy coming in was heavy breaking balls. If your guy hangs it, you're going to pay against Tennessee. I know if it were me, I would stay away from lefties against Tennessee as much as possible. Data 2 said, I know God isn't a wishing well, but God is good, baby. Go Vols. Amen, brother. Ahmad said, hey, thank you. Thank you for the nice compliments on here. You're fine. You always do a great job. Cover boosted. Cover basketball also. Absolutely. Yep, covered it. Channel launched on January 1st. I covered basketball. After that, covered it up till the tournament. Was on the portal. Pretty hot and heavy. And there's just not been much basketball news lately. I mean, I could probably recruiting with it if I really wanted, but my focus has been more on with trying to cover 4 sports. I kind of go with what's the hot thing at the time, where I've been on baseball since the beginning, but especially with them in the NCAA tournament. Started with Lady Vols coverage here, within the last 2 months. We'll say on that, had a lot of success. That really transformed this channel, helped it take off. Lady Vols coverage. There's been nothing on that front, but we'll get some stuff going on that hopefully here pretty soon. But yeah, this channel, I will cover football, baseball, basketball for the men's and women's teams on that. And we'll see where it goes moving forward with it. And I say covered. It's probably tried to do too many things at one time, honestly, and maybe not hit enough the way they should. But with football, their football coverage is for sure amping up this week. It's a huge, huge weekend of visits. I don't know if they'll get any commitments, but could they go a long way in getting some stuff for that class? This is maybe this is one of the biggest weekends in recruiting for Tennessee football in a long, long time. And I'll have some stuff this week definitely on that. So I hope you guys will enjoy that. I know there's other channels that are pretty much football heavy and stuff. There's some that football heavy, and then when it's convenient, they'll cover basketball, baseball. We're really trying to be, or I say I'm trying to be really well-rounded here and cover it all. Sometimes that, it goes a little bit one way or another, but there will be, like I said, I'm now at the point I have a lot of time on my hands coming up. So I'm going to try to hit a lot of stuff on here. So yes, basketball, this one will be on it. Let's see. Paul Mueller said players struck out for the 3rd out in the 9th, but the ump let you keep on playing. Bullshit. Oh, we got a Florida State fan here. So, I mean, you want to look at it, bud. Let's think back to that first inning. Let's say your guy got grazed. Should have been a dead ball. But yet the guy was allowed to come in to score on that one. So that evens out a little bit. So, it is what it is. It evens out. Florida State gave Tennessee some runs. Tennessee gave Florida State a lot of runs tonight. Yeah, it was. If it would have been your guy, Paul, I bet you would have said he wouldn't have swung naturally. So I get it, man. If that would have been the other way around, if that would have been Tennessee pitching, Florida State guy, I would have said the same thing in your shoes. I get it. I totally get it. I'm not I have no problem with your beef on that one because I know if the shoe would have been on the other foot, I probably wouldn't have been happy with it either. But I do think it was close enough; it could have went either way with it. We're going to obviously see it that how it favors our teams on that one. Ryan, back to around $20 says, "Let's go all the way, baby." Boosted says, "Not a swing." Candace Lockwood, what's up, Candace? Says that was probably the most improbable and exciting Tennessee baseball game I've ever watched. I can't disagree with you on that one. Just when you get excited about Burt tying it, then Dreiling ends it. I mean, just great. Got a couple of you guys on super chats here, and we'll hit you in just a minute on that. So just bear with me, and definitely appreciate your honesty. Paul's getting it. Sorry, Paul. Nice fairy tale, bro. Poor Paul. Yeah, how about Blake Burke? I still say Burke gave him 4 runs tonight, but he more than made up for it. The innocent culprit said, "Let's go." Said it's great to be Tennessee Vol. Best game I've ever watched completely. Here's all the oranges here. Ahmad says definitely the best game. Boomhauer and FSU used their ace. Tennessee greater than Florida State. Boosted, he covers basketball also. Yep, definitely. Definitely so. Had a lot of coverage on basketball this year, actually. Just in season. And then I feel as far as portal went, as far as channels covered it, this was the one. This was especially I was on the Chaz Lanier stuff pretty heavily. Had Kentucky fans. I was actually, I'm not one to troll, but I did tag Kentucky in those, and that was fun. If you haven't seen the short, I'll link it. I'll try to link it. Now, I don't do shorts often, but we were out on that Friday, and I saw Chaz Lanier announcement coming today, and I kept watching for it all freaking day long. And we'd stopped Western North Carolina, living upstate South Carolina, went up west, love Asheville, absolutely love Asheville. One of my favorite, if not my favorite place there is. Had been up to Asheville, was coming back, stopped to get something to eat. While stopping to get something to eat, checked it, had grabbed a beer, and then seen Chaz Lanier. Well, during that time, I had one Kentucky fan in particular, old Pamela. Some of you guys was giving Pamela a hard time. It was pretty funny, but old Pamela didn't like old Frank. Was trying to tell Frank how it was, and was doubting old Frank about it. Just going on about, well, where's the result, Frank? And yeah, he's posting this and that and trying to make a case for Mark Pope, and I just kind of played it cool. It was that day where we saw news was coming from, I know Ben McKee posted the expected news, and he was saying it's not going to be Kentucky. He pretty much gave it away. I wasn't back on VolQuest at the time. I'm sure they were probably on it too. I think Branham from 24/7, some of them. But it looked pretty good. It was just a matter of, I didn't really think it was a matter of if, but when. And old Pamela come on and it's like, did you see Chaz's Bible verses, Frank? I think he was telling us something. I just didn't respond. And she just kept poking at the bear a little bit, so to speak. And then when it happened, all I put was a hand and a mic for a mic drop. Because I'd been saying pretty consistent, I thought Chaz was of all. I felt when it come down to it, Tennessee was the consistent. After that, all of her comments, she went and deleted them all. It was great. It was fantastic. So, yeah, I'll cover basketball for sure. Definitely be on that one. Men's and women's. Just gotten into the women's game. Wished I would have been into it prior to the Kelly Harper firing in the, the Kim Caldwell hiring. But it took me a little bit to kind of get on board with that one. Once I did, man, this place took off. There's definitely a market for Lady Vols stuff, and it's pretty cool to see as well. They definitely deserve it. Mod said we needed this, will help us make a deep run. I thought it was the biggest thing for this team based on their history of just coming out of the gates losing for the most part, other than 95. And again, Laura Hubbard, thank you for mentioning that today, because got off on my years where I was thinking 51 because I know they were the runner-up. But, yeah, for sure. Daryl Gregory reminds me of the stumble and fumble. I was actually at that game. In 98. And it was one of those, it was kind of the same, like you said here. Me and the buddy mine I was with, we're standing there, and I think it was T. Martin threw an incomplete pass on 4th down. We're both standing there. I knew it was too good to be true. And we're just standing there, and I can't remember if I said it or was getting ready to say it's time for us to leave. And about that time, Sterner fumbled. And it was just like at that point, you knew they were going to win that game, and you felt like destiny. I really feel like tonight, the fact them winning that game. And I said it with I said I was concerned earlier today when North Carolina won again. I'm like, man, they're looking like destiny. This Tennessee team, I think it might be a destiny thing. I really do. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see on that one. But I like his team's chances at this point. Burke sucking at D, but redeeming himself on offense. He did. He totally redeemed himself. Shield says feels like 98. Let's hope so. Boosted. It's good to know. I used to watch Tom Ball. Indy covered all 3, so it's good to know. Yeah, man, good to have you on here. Absolutely. Go cover all 3 of them. Definitely happy for Blake Burke. How about this, man? Peyton Manning in Omaha tonight. Peyton Manning at one point was thought to be the jinx. We need Peyton there. I was so happy when the Peyton Manning jinx was lifted. Was that the Florida game a couple years ago or Bama? I can't remember which one, but I was like, man, at some point we've got to get this because this guy deserves to be at any and all games he wants to be at. I know he'd been asked at some point. He's like, yeah, it was my fault they had all them crappy coaching hires, but Tony got them fired up top. Tony was fired up. Tony was absolutely fired up. That is a fact. The fact that he was running around all the way out on the baseline when Snead got called for the balk, it is what I'm gonna put this up. Somebody will probably take a picture and send it to this place, but I'm still putting it up. I'm not even gonna comment. There you go. There's your picture to take, somebody to send. It's happened before. Couldn't agree more, Shields. But House Orange is rolling, moving forward. Boosted 931, still hyped. What does NC have left? I don't know about their pitching. I mean, obviously, with North Carolina, when we look at what they used tonight, in a low-scoring game, I would almost say they didn't use a lot of pitching. But let me look here and see. Let's see. DeCaro went 4 innings through 89. Poston through 23. Pence went 3 1/3 and only threw 29. So the fact he went 3 1/3, 1.92, so he's good. He's good for Sunday. So probably get into North Carolina again. I don't know how deep their pitching is. I could probably pull them up here real quick though. Got nothing but time tonight, guys. It's Friday night. A lot of people still amped up. Let's look at North Carolina baseball here, and we'll pull them up here on their website. North Carolina, a lot of you probably remember, may not, when Tennessee first got back into the NCAA tournament after a long layoff, first time under Vitello 2019, they went to the Chapel Hill Regional, and North Carolina beat Tennessee 2 games. I think Tennessee beat, who was it, Liberty, if I'm not mistaken. But all right, let's see what we got here. So, Carol, I'm going to share my screen with you. We'll look at North Carolina stuff here together. I'll get to more of your comments here in a minute. I know a couple of you guys super chat. I need to get to those. Actually, let me get to those real quick now. I'll share my screen. So I know I had Al of the Woods said thoughts on Sunday's game. So I'm getting into that now. And then Ryan Davis for 5. Al of the Woods, Ryan Davis, all you guys have super chat. Thank you so much tonight. The way I see it after season would be Curley at third, Antigua at short, with Antigua working with Elander in off season. Yeah, and I think something that, I saw it too. VolQuest has got, there's some pretty knowledgeable guys on there. Some guys I think played for Tennessee and stuff. Very knowledgeable dudes on there talking about Antigua and that injury in the offseason, because it seemed like in the fall that he was the shortstop. He had hit well, obviously an excellent fielder, but then he had that injury. I think, was it something with his hand or wrist or something? And that's an injury you really don't want to have as a hitter, obviously. And he just never recovered from it. I think it's Curley at third, Antigua at short. Now I'm curious to see, they get Gavin Keelan from Louisville. Where else do they go in the portal? It's been really quiet now in the portal for Tennessee, where other teams have been, getting guys. So, I don't know where Tennessee's going to go in the portal. We obviously know Tony was pissed with Blake Sear, who come in, what was it, last weekend, and he committed to Florida before the weekend was out. But, Keelan, I don't know if he's visited anymore. Lepore, I know I had read where I thought both guys were going to visit other places, but I still think Tennessee will have a good shot. Why would you not want to come to Knoxville right now? This program and what they're doing, you can't say it. We can sit here and talk history all we want to, but I've said it on here before, and it's infuriated me with some guys who actually write about Tennessee saying, well, yeah, Vitello, why wouldn't he consider heavily LSU and Texas? Is there really a better job in this current day and time? I don't want to hear about championships and all that. You can't sit here and tell me current day and time there's currently a better program than Tennessee. This is the only program that's been to 4 straight super regionals, 3 out of 4 World Series. Yeah, I know you've got to finish one off and get a championship at some point. But, a lot of these teams crowing about these championships have not done a damn thing in years. Like South Carolina, I see their fans when they continually suck, and they just got a coach who Tennessee retired, and their only crow they've got is to no championships yet. It's been a long time since they've even been relevant. So that's your thing. Vanderbilt is good at one sport, and they're not even that good at that one sport now. They've fallen behind now that they did not have the Vandy fund over everybody else. Now the NIL has even the playing field against Vandy, but yet they still have that. They've won championships, and Tennessee hasn't. So, but yeah, it annoys me because Tony Vitello is built from the ground up. He's got currently the top program in the country. The thing with him is just finishing it off and getting that national championship. But, I think I saw he makes about $350,000 now. I was thinking he had gotten a raise at some point, but apparently not. You've got to think that contract's going up by a lot. I think after the College World Series over, we'll hear it announced that he's going to have a big time raise, a well-deserved raise. And I've got a video coming this week on it about how I really feel. And I made a comment one night on here about, I think there's a case to be made that Tony Vitello, I know Danny White in the admins deservedly so gets a lot of credit. There's a case to be made that Tony Vitello saved this athletic department, because there was a lot of programs not doing their thing. Baseball brought life to this fan base who needed it. And everything's kind of taken off from there. I think there's a case to be made. Any amount of money you pay Tony Vitello is deserved. It's justified for sure. But lots of comment. We're still at 164 right now. It's after 12. Thank you guys so much tonight for being in here. It's been awesome. Your feedback, all this is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. It's I'm gonna share the screen. Let's take a look at North Carolina here. Let's see what we're in for Sunday. So North Carolina. Again, I make the statement they're possibly the second best team. I still think I have an interesting one. So would it have been, what's the worst case scenario if you're Tennessee? Would you rather go 2 and out, which you're not now? They're worst case, go 1-2. Would you rather do that, or would you rather get to the championship series and lose to Kentucky? I think I'd rather go 2-barbecue, even though it's not going to happen. But ideally, I'd like to get there and beat Kentucky. That'd be the perfect scenario. Get to the championship series, then beat Kentucky 2-0. Kentucky's got a heck of a team, but I don't know what the perfect any scenario that ends with Tennessee winning, it's perfect. Let's make no mistake about it. But all right, let's take a look at North Carolina here. So I wanted to look at game by game because we know today, obviously. Let me get on down here. So against Virginia last weekend, we'll look at game 2. We know. So let's see, game 1. Here we go. We'll look at their pitching. Jason DeCaro, 6 1/3, 2 runs. And then Dalton Pence. Pence is their guy at the end. His ERA is under 2. So here's DeCaro. I want to see what his stats are on the year. Out of New York. Here we go. Here's stats. 2024. We got his per game 3.81 ERA. That's pretty respectable, I think. I want to see his strikeouts. Has he got 138 strike? No. Where are we at? Here we go. Innings pitched to strikeouts. All right, here we go. 89 2/3 innings, 78 strikeouts. It's not a guy. He is a righty, it looks like, according to the pitchers, or the picture, not pitcher. I'd be interesting to know what his makeup is as far as off speed versus fastball, what he throws on that. Could probably pull up some highlights on YouTube and find that's where I found my Jamie Arnold stuff, or saw what he was bringing. But if I'm looking at Carolina's stats, I'm going to go to PDF. I don't want career. Never mind. Let's look at ACC. Let's make no mistake about it, man. The ACC, SEC is the best conference. The ACC is not that far behind. I really don't think they are. This is a stout conference. All right, looking at North Carolina's batting here for the year, they hit 304 as a team. I mean, you look down through here, their top nine guys are 278 and above. That's pretty impressive. That is pretty impressive. Home runs, you got Casey Cook, 18, Parks Harbor, 20, Honeycutt, 26, Stevenson, 14, Alberto Osuna, 14. They steal some base. I mean, look at Honeycutt. 26 bombs, 28 stolen bases. Dude's a stud. You get down here pitching DeCaro, 3.81, Pence, 1.92, Kyle Percival, 2.42. He's a relief pitcher. Your game started, Shea Sprague is starting 4.0. And it looks like, let's see, today you had DeCaro pitched today. I'm sorry. DeCaro pitched today. So it will not be him on Sunday. That was their game 2 guy last week. So let me look back here. They switched it up a little bit today. So DeCaro went today. All right, looks like they've kind of got. Let me look to XML here. So game 1. All right, so let's look at West Virginia last week. So game 2, DeCaro through game 1. West Virginia, man, was in pretty good shape. And then North Carolina scored 3 in the ninth to win it. So North Carolina threw Sprague, and he got hit. So I got to think there's a possibility that Tennessee's going to see Sprague on Sunday. Let me see what he's a lefty too. Man, if that's the way North Carolina does go, I like that for Tennessee. I like that. I'm going to stop sharing the screen now, but if that's the way North Carolina goes, if it's Shea Sprague, a lefty, the way Tennessee's been hitting lefties, this is playing into their hands. This plays into Tennessee's advantage. I like this right here. So that's something to keep in mind with it. I don't know what other way they would possibly go. Let me look back. I want to go back to their overall stats on the year. Let's see. Some of these websites are, it could be operator error at this point too. Yeah. I'm going to say they're facing Sprague. I like that. I like that matchup for Tennessee. I really do. Just the fact him being a lefty. I mean, you supposedly faced possibly the best lefty in the country tonight. You faced one of the better lefties last weekend in Deverman. Got him out pretty quick. Let's see. So, I mean, North Carolina's got pretty much everybody but the guy who pitched tonight for him. I'd say we'll keep that one to Elander. Said something about Bargo. I mean, I'll be honest, that was kind of grasping at straws, though. I mean, because Chapman just wasn't getting it done in there. And who's your best? I would have went Bargo hitting for Stark at the end that night. Elander's pretty good. We'll let him. Only lost 2. Yeah, possibly, because I think we lost Causey 45. Combs is the one I don't think we'll see Sunday at 60. Causey possibly. Sneed. I would almost say Sneed's good to go with 39. I would think he could come back. I would think Causey could come back just throwing 45 tonight. I don't know that they'll risk at it, but I mean, Causey, if he's not good Sunday, he'll definitely be good to go on Tuesday next week. And Combs should be good to go again on Tuesday. So pitching's still in pretty good shape. But I mean, the big thing's going to be we need the Drew Beam that we know. We need him big time. I don't disagree with this. And I love Kirby. Love Kirby. I was texting somebody. That's not where I would have went. It's not where I would have went with it. Obviously, he's got a role. He does his thing in that situation. I don't know where. I don't think they use Loy enough. I really don't. We've not seen him a whole lot, but I really think Loy. I know there's probably a little bit of a trust factor, but Loy is one that I would like to see a little bit more of. Yeah, Peyton and his son watching the game. Cool memory for him. Yeah, hopefully something cool for him moving forward. This is absolutely big time. Critical we get Beam on Sunday. Yep, God is good. Absolutely. Ryan Lewis said Sneed, Banky, Cannell, Stamos should be good for Sunday. I would think so too. Beam, we weren't going to see Beam tonight. I think we would have been really concerned if they would have some reason had to go to him, but he was going to go Sunday, I think, regardless. Yep, I wanted CMO to get it too. BaseVols channel covering the big three. You got that right. And we're just getting started. G-Man was worried. What I think would happen if we'd kept Stamos in. I don't know. It's hard to tell on it. I thought he was pretty good in the 8 pitches that he threw, but Stamos is kind of one of those as well. You never know at what point he may hang one. So I mean, it could have went either way. It could win either way. Maybe he gets through that with no damage, or maybe he, he hangs one and it's 3 or 4 to nothing at that point. The fact that we got out of that inning with only 1 run, I thought was pretty good. What's bad is I quit and gave up and the team didn't. I won't do that again, period. Oh, I wouldn't say I quit. I don't know. I texted Invol. I said, this team ain't done yet. So I don't know. I think I was pretty much probably. I don't know. Maybe it was like Apollo Creed in Rocky 4. Maybe I was like Rocky Balboa, wanted to throw the towel in, and Apollo wouldn't let me. So maybe that's what it was tonight. Yeah, a lot of yeah, the umpires sucked, and I'm just going through the comments here, trying to get. We're almost an hour and a half in. Appreciate you guys being here through this whole thing, man. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool for sure. Tennessee faced a top 3 pitcher night, still found a way to come back. I mean, I thought they did a good job against him. I really did. I hate the fact that I hate these tight strike zones. I hate it, and maybe they're that the because I feel like the hitters already have enough of an advantage, and yet then you cramp these pitchers, basically make them throw it right down the middle. I don't think it's right. I just don't. If we're talking about Curley, no, I am not impressed with his effort at short. I'm not. I'm just calling it like I see it. I think the guy has a great future here. I think he's going to be a great player. And it's all said and done. He's not doing it for me at shortstop. There's numerous plays, and it's been going on for a bit. I'm like, how was that not fielded? And that I think that's a detriment to this team. I really think so. Got some revenge on Link Jarrett. Let's just hope, if we see him again, we send him to the house. Because if we see Link Jarrett again, it's going to be in a situation to send him to the house. Burke's defense was rough tonight. Umpires definitely inconsistent. Yeah, this is pretty close, man. It's hard to, if you're any kind of a Tennessee fan, I can't see how you didn't get excited for this tonight. It was what a comeback. What a comeback. Hello, gutsy column, that's for sure. Yes, this is a good point. I'm glad we don't play tomorrow regardless. That would have been a lot, I think, to come back and play with that much emotion. I totally agree. And I think it helps give some guys a little bit of rest. That's a very good point. The fact that they don't have to turn around and play tomorrow, I think, is a big deal. We're in the regional, super regional. It kind of paid off, but it paid off last weekend against Evansville, where their pitching was gassed. I still think in the end, Tennessee was a better team regardless, but their pitching was gassed. It played a big part on Sunday. But, the fact that Tennessee's getting a rest tomorrow, I think is pretty big for them. I would think, Will, that the higher seed would get it, especially since both teams were home team today, but I don't know how they're going to go with that. I don't know if they'll find some ridiculous way to give it to North Carolina or not. Curley out of positions. I thought he was on it tonight. As far as what was it, third inning? I thought it was a perfect double play ball, and he's not even close. I don't get it. I see some of you kind of discussing the home team stuff. I'll get to that. Still going through theirs. Yeah, it was. I'm sure this was about the Burke at the end, but I'm not. I didn't think he went, but it was close. It was close. I mean, it was like Kyle Peterson said on telecast. He said at first I thought he went, but he said the more I've seen it, I don't think he went. So it's tomorrow. No, Burke did. Burke did not go. He didn't go. Again, if I was in Florida State's situation, I'd probably say he went. I get it. I get it. I don't hate it. I don't have a problem with it. So is it a coin toss? I've not looked at the stuff on. I can't keep up with how the NCAA does it. So never gave. Let's see, Christian. Yeah, Christian Moore. Christian Moore's the man. He should have been SEC Player of the Year. Christian Moore is the best player here since Todd Helton. I don't even think it's arguable at this point. I mean, they've had some good players, don't get me wrong. But what Christian Moore's done, the year he's had this year, I mean, what would that guy have been? They talked about it tonight on the telecast 2 years ago. I mean, he and Burke were kind of rotating DH, and both of them still had double-digit home runs. What would they have been if they were full-time starters? Hey, what's up, Greg? Had to record and started an hour late. Team of Destiny. Yeah, I'm hoping so, man. This is a fact. Whirlwind of emotions tonight. Yep, got to see Peyton there tonight. Tim Dewberry woke his wife up. Luckily, mine wasn't asleep yet. Yeah, Blake, he did. He drilled that one up the middle. That was perfect. Perfect. It was a very tight strike zone. Yeah, they said, what did they say? Something about there was a stat if you lost the first game, basically your percentage to win was very, very low. Vitello and his rant, I mean, played in perfect. I'm curious to see. See if I can find some comments here tonight on what he's got going. I'd love to find a press conference of him at some point, but I mean his press conferences are pretty entertaining. Tony Vitello says he watched Christian Moore once in high school and Moore didn't say anything to him. I don't think he knew who I was. We thought he's going to go straight to professional ball, to be honest. He turned down good money. Tony said he could sense the team was ready to go before the game, and he doesn't feel like his team was tight. Says he thinks it was more about the team not handling certain situations well, not the stage. I would agree with that. I didn't feel like they were tied, but I don't know. It's easy to say. We hadn't had a walk-off win all season, but it was in my head before the game. I don't know why. Maybe because the game before. Boy, this is a quote of the night. Tony Vitello on the pitch, and all in all, it was a hot mess. That's a fact. That's 2 times in the last 3 games that the pitching has been really a hot mess. Tony Vitello said, I think I was the least composed of the group, but I can assure you I was confident. We just threw a bunch of jabs all game, and then a big punch in the 9th. Blake Burke on his game time 2-run single. He said it was a check swing. I didn't go, just kept battling. Tony Vitello in batting practice. I just looked around the room and had a great sense of comfort. Said obviously both teams get a lot of credit for putting on a show for the fans. That's all the comments I got. So I don't know if there's any more on him tonight. Yeah, top of the 9th, down 3. Vitello set the rallying motion. He lit a fire. Yeah, he was fired up, man. Jim Pan says Burke didn't swing. Wilt Hoops Balls didn't want an Evansville repeat. No, and I'd say a lot of us thought they were there. Jim Pan's still clapping. He's still doing the stroke. Vitello delivered the motivation. He did. And that's a thing I think it gets lost a lot with Tony Vitello's teams, man. Those teams battle their asses off for him. you can tell they love playing for that guy, and they will go to bat for him. He goes to bat for them, and they'll go bat for him as well. We don't win that game without his rant in the top of the ninth. That's a valid point. That's a valid point. They absolutely scored 2 runs on that one where Burt dropped that one. Yep, because it was 4-4, and they would have been they would have been out of the inning. Is that right? 4-4. They ended up 6-4, and then they got 3 more. Yep, that's absolutely right. Burt definitely redeemed himself. Sheila K, I'd say there's quite a few of us that that game about gave a heart attack too. You're absolutely right. Tip Jackson in the house. What's up, man? Glad to be here. Jersey looks great, Frank. Appreciate that. It's one of the jersey. I actually need to break my jersey. This has kind of been the good luck. This is the dry fit Nike. I've got the black one as well. This one's been the good luck. I'll have to get it washed again before Sunday because Lord knows I sweated through it tonight. The only team can beat Tennessee is Tennessee. Man, that's a pretty valid point. I think Tennessee was beating themselves tonight. Ryan Davis for 5. Appreciate that, man. Said, made my day at work better. Thanks, go Vols. Xander will be ready to pitch, what, Tuesday? I can't see him going Sunday. Oh, yeah, he should have, too. That third base coach for Florida State was chewing on his player. He was waving him, and that guy just did not go. And that was a break. That was a break for Tennessee because Tears booted that ball. That guy could have been in easily. But, got the double play and got out. That was huge. Oh, yeah. Aggravated thinking they'd given one away. Sure. Thoughts on Sunday's game? I wanted to get back to this one here. Still getting to some of your comments here. Coming back to a couple super chats. But seeing that I'm thinking pretty sure that Tennessee's going to face Shea Sprague. Not that he's a bad pitcher or nothing like that for North Carolina. He's not a strikeout guy. He's a lefty. The way they've been hitting lefties. If Drew Beam's got to be on his game. So let me preface that saying Drew Beam has to be on his game. If Beam is on his game, and we've got to be aware, if he goes first 3 innings rolling, they better get somebody ready in that 4th because that's where it's kind of started taking over with him the last, few weeks. But I like Tennessee's chances. I like Tennessee's chances against North Carolina on Sunday. I really do. Moore's a beast. This was big. This was big right here, Sheila. Absolutely. 4 hits with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Cannot get much better of a comeback. What? Man. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think right now you got to go Curly. I think there's no doubt about that. I mean, I think if it comes down to the 9th inning, you got a few run lead or a couple runs. I think Antigua, you put him in for defensive purposes. But other than that, yeah, you got to go Curly. Absolutely. Keith said Florida State called the ambulance. Let's see, back to Ryan Davis for 5. Again, thank you for your generosity, Ryan. Appreciate that. Appreciate all you guys with your super chats tonight and your generosity. Very gratefully appreciated. But way I see it, Curly 3rd, Antigua at short, Antigua working Elander in offseason. And 2, I think it'll make a big difference if he's fully healthy. I think that will make a big difference also. Reese Winter said at least Vitello shows emotions out there. If Barnes would have done that in the Elite 8, maybe everyone would have woken up. I don't know. Barnes kind of is what he is. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. That was just a tough one altogether. Outlaw or cheese? Let Frank. Yeah, I don't think there's it's an outlaw night. I don't think it's a cool hand night either. It's a little too emotional. Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree. I mean, Yeah, this is good. Tennessee fan lean toward Burke swinging, but at the same time on specific rules. Yeah, it's so close. I think it could go either way. Yeah, I can't disagree with you. I mean, it's one where I'm kind of like, I mean, obviously, the part of me wants to say it was not a swing, but if they would have called it one, I don't know that I could sit here and like have a beef with it either. It was that close. Um, Again, if the shoe was on the other foot, I would have probably been upset too if I was a Florida State fan. But in the end, both teams did enough to cost themselves that game tonight. That's ultimately what it boils down to. For Florida State, they can pinpoint that, and I get it. But they made a lot of mistakes earlier on too, and even in the ninth on the one what Tears hit, their center fielder misplayed that. That should have been a catch. That should have been the first out. The fact that he misplayed it, and I'm sure it was not called an error. I would call that an error. That's a ball that should be caught there. It wasn't like it was off the wall or nothing. It hit at the warning track or short. So, I mean, Florida State can use that one, and I get it. I totally get it. But, both teams did enough tonight to deserve to lose that game. It was going to be a matter who made more plays. Tennessee come through in the end on it. But yeah, I get it, man. I get it, Taylor. Totally get what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, Florida State, that was their closer, Oxford, that was in. That was their main guy of the bullpen. Their bullpen is the big question mark for them. And, they had numerous. I mean, I think back to the Clemson series with them this year. They were up 9 or 10 runs 2 days in a row. And Clemson come back and won both games. And then I think Clemson swept them on Sunday. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I'll take a win's a win at this point, but the fact that it come to that, but I'll be honest, I'm not complaining tonight. At this point, moving forward, I'll take it any way they get it. I'll take it any way they get it. Man, I don't know, Jim. I hope they lose tomorrow too, but that seems to me like a team that's hitting it at the right time. That will be interesting to see. I think they they play A&M tomorrow. I hope A&M beats them, but hey, Xander Sechrist in here. What a game, boys and bros. No BS. Yes, I'm actually Xander. Been watching you for a while. Kermit always talk about you as well as Parker Saron. Man, I so wish this was true. It's so cool. So cool. But these guys getting it done tonight. Curious to see if this is really Xander. I'm excited to see him pitch on Tuesday. Gators, yeah, Florida's playing good at the right time. Green Wave, FSU strong team. We beat their ace. Probably won't too many easy wins. Xander is the man. Totally agree. Xander, if that's really you, man, we love having you in here. It's pretty awesome. Let's see. Still a lot of comments. I'm going to try to get through these. And well, Xander, if that's you got a definitely a fan base. Thanks a lot of you and appreciate all your effort in here for sure. Peyton coaching, man, I bet Peyton would be an excellent coach, but I bet he would be a hard coach to play for. He demanded perfection a lot of times. That's why he was as good as he was. I think Florida State. Yeah, if you're Florida State, you got to look back on that, man, and they made a bunch of mistakes. We totally got lucky. We won that one tip, absolutely. But You take it. You take it. I'm not complaining College World Series about getting a win. You take it how you get it. Both teams made a lot of mistakes tonight. And fortunately for Tennessee, they were lucky they won that game. They were absolutely lucky they won it. But you know what? They also in that ninth inning stepped up. And I'm really proud of them for their effort and where they come along at. That'd be awesome if he said that. He was fired up, man. He was fired up. Jim Penn still. I bet Jim's got Billy Squire on repeat tonight. I bet it's just on repeat. I got to go here, man. If somebody's complaining tonight, man, it's so be it. I am not complaining. Could the team have played better? Could they have cleaned it up? Yes, absolutely. But you know what? They won the game. That's all that matters in the end. They won the game, and that's pretty freaking cool. That's pretty freaking cool. They gave us all. They might have given us a heart attack, but they also made a lot of us. I don't even know how I still have a voice. I actually gained some voice back a little bit, but I don't care if every game at this point's 1-0. I don't care if it's 20-19. I don't care at this point. A win is a win. I'll take it ever how we want. Main thing we're going to need Sunday, and I like the matchup for Tennessee. We need Drew Beam to be the Drew Beam we know. If we're facing Sprague, which I feel confident we will, I like our chances to run him early. I wouldn't say first or second inning, but just the way this team's been hitting left-handed pitching. Then we get it Tuesday, get it to our man Xander. Hopefully it says actually him here. Get to our man Xander, let him close it down, get to the championship series next weekend. Be freaking awesome. Nothing Coach V can't do at UT. I still say Tony Vitello. I'm going to make a video about it this week. Tony Vitello is the man that saved Tennessee athletics. I don't think there's any question about it. When this was a fan base, I've told you guys on this, I was close to calling it quits on Tennessee football under Jeremy Pruitt. I have not minced words about that piece of shit, and I'm not going to mince them now. I didn't like it from the get-go. I didn't like that hire. I didn't like much of anything he did while he was here. Yeah, he recruited okay. He had a smoke and mirrors 8-win season. But that last season, I mean, started out with a couple wins, and then whatever happened at Georgia at halftime, whatever that guy got, he deserved. He deserved every bit of his firing he got. He was garbage when he was here. He was not Tennessee quality. I know he was one of Phil's boys. Looked like the old school guy, probably like 3 yards in a cloud of dust, like Phil used to like. But Jeremy Pruitt about did it for me. And I'm not going to lie, I love what Rick Barnes is doing now. Rick Barnes has tested my patience some as well. I mean, in Tennessee baseball, I love seeing Dave Serrano on Twitter tweeting about go Vols, let's do it and stuff, because I really thought that was going to be a big-time hire for Tennessee baseball, and it just, for whatever reason, did not work out. I don't know if he had too much of a mess under Todd Raleigh to clean up or what. But Tony Vitello comes in first year, doesn't make the tournament. Year two, they go to the Chapel Hill Regional. They went 1-2, lost to a really good North Carolina team that year. That 2020 team was on its way to a big year. 2021, then I saw somebody the other day using attendance, saying, well, you know, the attendance wasn't big that year. Why? Well, it was the COVID year. It wasn't until the last series of the year at South Carolina, and I was actually at 2 of those 3 games, that crowds could be fully in attendance again. So, yeah, naturally, crowds were down because attendance was it wasn't fully allowed that year. But Tony Vitello, with that's when they had Chad Dallas, Tidwell, Will Heflin in that lineup. You know, your Drew Gilbert. That was kind of the birth of the villains that year. Just what they did. That brought a lot to a Tennessee fan base, you know, where baseball had been down for so long, but, you know, this baseball stadium is being expanded because of what Tony Vitello's done with this program. Everybody else, and I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence with Danny White coming on board. Danny White is the best AD Tennessee's had. Possibly, he may be the best one ever. Dickey was pretty good because football won a championship. The Lady Vols were winning championships. We can be good at everything, but if you're not winning national championships, there's still a little bit short. And, it doesn't take away from the seasons. Don't get me wrong on that. But, what Tony Vitello's done, though, and he keeps building. Just when you think he's done this, here he goes and does more. They can finish the job this year. Why in the hell does he need to go to Texas? I would say there's a zero, at best a 0.001% chance he goes. There's little to no chance he goes. Would you? You got the best program in the country. You got the best fan base in the country right now. You got support. They're traveling to Omaha, even with these crazy airplane costs. I mean, I started Googling the distance to get there. It's about 16 hours for me to get there by car because I'm not paying $900 to fly. So you're looking there at what, $250, $300 in gas. That's not including room or food or none of that. So, the fact that the fan base is traveling for that, basketball team fan base was invested. I've seen Rick Barnes evolve. We're seeing what Josh Heupel's doing. We're seeing the Lady Vols with Kim Caldwell coming in. We're seeing all these programs. To me, Tony Vitello was the one that kind of set the standard, and now all the rest of them are living up to his standard. And this dude's out supporting. He's at football games. He's at Lexington this year. What this guy's done for Tennessee athletics, every penny he gets paid whenever he gets his extension and his raise, he's worth every penny of it, and probably worth even more than he's going to get. This guy's been just a godsend and a breath of fresh air for Tennessee athletics. And you can tell by the way these guys, I still think, what a job they've done this year. Last year's job, the fact he got that team to the College World Series, they didn't have near the talent this team does. And he still got them there with apparent issues, and I don't think he's shied away from it. Phenomenal job. He's the man. So I'm just going through the stuff here, and then I'm going to try to wrap this thing up here. We're going close to 2 hours, man. This will be awesome. Peyton through the golf ball. That'd be kind of funny. Love the fact that Peyton can go to games and then they actually win them now. Absolutely. Got to watch out for Honeycutt. He's a player. He is a player, and he's had some of these walk. I mean, I could not believe Virginia threw to him today. I really couldn't. Yep, Sheila, you're on it. I totally agree with you. There is no way I would have pitched to Honeycutt in that one, and Tim Dewberry said it here as well. First base was open. I would have taken my chances on somebody else. I got to think, Tim, that it's Sprague for North Carolina. I got to think it's him because he's been going earlier. But they changed it up this week. So I hope it is just the way they've been hitting the lefty. A lot of you pretty confident in Beam. Yeah, I think Stamos got a raw deal, but I mean, I get what they were trying to do as well. Rosemary Morton, good to have you in here. Let's see. Because I'm not sure if it is 6 or 7. That's an excellent. I don't know if they got it up here on D1 baseball yet or not. Nope. Maybe a College World Series bracket and see what we got. I know it'll be on the bracket. And by the way, some of you didn't catch it. I've made a couple errors this week. The College World Series is indeed double elimination. It is indeed. If Tennessee were to win Sunday, then whoever comes in would have to double dip them. So it's not a case of if they lost that one, they're done, which I don't know if I confused it with the SEC tournament or if it's changed. Let's see, game 6 on Sunday. According to the bracket, all right, this is on Central Time, it appears to me, because Tennessee played at 7 tonight. So they will play Sunday night on ESPN2 at 7 o'clock, is how I'm reading it, because they had them for 6 tonight. So I'm assuming this thing is listed on Central Time. So I would expect that. Nope, Xander Sechrist is the GOAT, man. No, Tennessee's game is not 2. If they would have lost, it would have been 2. Tennessee will play at 7 on Sunday. Florida State and Virginia will play at 2. What's up, Johnny Newcomb? Need to let Stamos actually pitch at some point. Man, he gets pulled early sometimes. Yeah, I can't blame him for being upset tonight. I really can't. I think Florida State screwed up taking out Whitaker as well. I totally agree on that one. And right now, I want to look at his stats for the night. So Whitaker was 3 1/3, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 strikeouts. He wasn't walking anybody. So I don't know if he was hitting his pitch limit or what. They said he'd started some, but if I'm a team right now, I'm avoiding lefties as much as possible against Tennessee. I feel like Tennessee's just really hitting lefties well right now. I agree with this. I think there were numerous hits that a big-time shortstop, maybe even Antigua Fields. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. Clutch hit by Burke. Leslie Byram, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you tuning in on here. I'm a Razorback fan. I think Tennessee's the best team in the nation. I think they'll win it all after what they did tonight. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. But, thanks for tuning in, Leslie, for sure. We'll see. I think it almost plays to me like it's a destiny type thing, but, there's a long way to go for sure. Christian Moore's the man. The balk call was BS. I mean, I think if that was a balk, all right, let's say that it was, not enough balks are getting called around. Not enough getting called around. Fortunately, it didn't lead to a run or anything. And, maybe that balk was a blessing in disguise because we saw Tony Vitello's reaction, and you got to think that team got up on that one. So, maybe it was a blessing in disguise tonight for sure. Let's see, Leslie. Some of them have already responded on here. Tennessee plays North Carolina. It's actually at 7 o'clock Sunday night. Dude, you must have been in shock for a while. This guy didn't respond to any texts for a while. I didn't know if he passed out or what happened. So he just went mute for like hours. I don't know. I might have gotten a text from. Let's see what else we got. Yes, this is a very good point. Moore is lucky he did not get ejected after that hit. He was mouthing with that. I'll be honest, didn't think he had a big beef on those 2 strikes. I thought they looked pretty good. And then I will give the umpire credit. There are some umpires would have tossed him on that one. So I got to give that umpire credit, even though I didn't think he was that great tonight. I give him credit that he let that go because there are umpires that would have sent more out. Yeah. This is we cannot afford it. I mean, you think of 2 years ago against Notre Dame, that first game, Gilbert gets tossed for mouthing to umpire, and I mean, honestly, who can dispute it? I mean, you can't turn around and cuss an umpire like that. That team was just off once they got to the postseason. Something was off. They played big and bad all year. They were in your face. They had all their stuff. But once they got to the postseason, something was off with that team. And I don't know. I've started thinking a little bit about it. And there's a couple of things I've put my finger on that I wonder, because I know they moved Tidwell to Friday night and he hadn't been all year. He would have been Friday from the get-go had it not been for his injury. I'm wondering if that hurts some feelings. A specific guy that went to Wake Forest who got his feelings hurt last year too. I'm wondering if that played into it. You had some stuff, just different stuff. Something just was not right at that point. Xander has been a bad dude, that's for sure. I'm not. I don't want to go live during games, honestly. If I did it, it'd be like a midweek or something. But some of these intense games, I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it. I'd probably get banned by YouTube or something if I did. Not that I'm over the top, but I mean, especially at the end, I live out here kind of secluded where I'm at. I probably still woke up the neighbors around. But nah, it's not my thing to go during the game. I don't have any interest in it just because I'm actually invested in all the sports. So I mean, I want to have my full attention on them. The only attention I want taken away is if I'm, texting with buddies or something. But as far as trying to do a show during them, I don't think so. In case it was, like I said, maybe I've done it before and it was fun. Don't get me wrong. We've had fun doing it before, but definitely not this time of year. Definitely not. We'll see next year. There might be some games to do something with, especially, as the channel builds. But yeah, Pruitt was a bum. He was a bum. It embarrasses me. He's considered a teacher now, like a PE teacher. I'm embarrassed that he be in the same profession with that idiot. Still love Barnes, never had it. Yeah, I don't know that he has one now either, to be honest, but I think he's got more of a kind of a protector there. Yes, good point here. Vitello's dad coached the same school 47 years, said when he came that the biggest thing is loyalty. I mean, I would think 2 jobs. One, I would think, would he ever take Missouri since that's his alma mater? People have mentioned Arkansas where he was a hitting coach at. I don't know. I mean, Arkansas is a heck of a program. It's one of the best programs in college baseball. People say LSU and Texas and stuff. I mean, Arkansas is right up there. I don't know why Tony, I'm not going to say never, but I don't know why Vitello would leave. I mean, he's got pretty much, they're going to give him the contract that he deserves in Knoxville. They're upgrading the stadium. They're upgrading, I think, facility. They're doing everything there is. I just can't see it. Sheila, it's a great show. Thank you, Sheila. Definitely appreciate you being in here, contributing tonight. One of Xander's Secrets autograph baseball. Xander's the man. Man, that'd be so cool if that's really him in here. I guess I'm still at that point. I don't know. Oh gosh, yes. If those umpires that were in Clemson last week, if you guys seen that or not, where they were ejecting guys for just nothing, man. Moore would have been gone tonight. Vitello would have probably been gone too. QB1's got to be on it. QB1 has got to be on it. I mean, right now I feel pretty good. We get to Tuesday still without a loss. Our man Xander's will take care of business. I really think so. We'll wrap it up on that one, guys. Thank you so much for just a big night on here. Big night on this channel. Definitely the best live we've had. I mean, obviously for good reason. Hopefully we have another good one Sunday night. I'll be live Sunday night with you. Probably drop some kind of content tomorrow at some point. I don't even know what. I'll probably preview North Carolina, more or less. Kind of look at that. But look at some show there. But I cannot stress this enough to all of you that were in here tonight. Whatever fan base you come from and watch. And again, if I'm a Florida State fan, I get it. I have no problem if they're upset. If she was on the other foot, sure. I'd probably been ticked if I was a Tennessee fan too. But the fact of the matter is both teams did enough to lose that game tonight. Let's make no mistake about it. Which team stepped up in the end was the big thing, and it was Tennessee. It was to see they stepped up. They were not quitting. So, let's get it. Hope to see you guys in here Sunday night. Get some good rest, guys. It's 1 o'clock. Enjoy tomorrow with no baseball. It'll be nice to just kind of sit back and relax and not be stressed tomorrow. But I'll see you Sunday evening. Tennessee plays at 7 against North Carolina. My name's Frank Rock. This is the House of Orange Sports Channel, and thank goodness I still have a voice right now, but I'm going to go put it to rest now. Have a great rest of your evening and a great Saturday. And as always, go Vols.